Greetings, adventurers. Hello, guys. Welcome back. It's me. It's your boy Rare. I'm back. I'm live again, and also a little bit of a crazy YouTube video today for you guys. It's going to be some sort of like, I guess you can tell from the title, some sort of class picking guide with a little bit of like also help if you. I would like to hear your opinions on this as well. But this is going to be for, I guess, for everyone, not really specifically for new players. But sort of a yeah, like I guess like what would I do, or how would I help a new player decide on which class to main? Currently I do main Seraph. Seraph is still my main. Here's my gear, and I just have Deadeye tagged currently because Deadeye agents are like, it's their tag week. By the way, you can tag characters pretty much every, like, I think 2 weeks or something they swap it, so you get like a free tag. So you can, you can tag, burn through your Vel's heart, for example, on your tagged character, and then re-tag it, so you can kind of save yourself some money. But they're removing that soon, from the future of this video. This will not be really a thing anymore. That being said, so today I'm going to talk about 3 classes, and I'm going to mention why these 3 classes. But as you can tell from the title, you know which classes they are already. And the reason for this is because I have this thing called an equilibrium scroll. If you don't know what that is, I'll just mouse over it really quickly. It's a scroll, essentially, that you can take for my level 50 plus character. You can take everything and kind of like move it over to another character. So this is like weights, inventory slots, which is the most important ones. Skill XP and XP are like kind of debatable now, like if you really care about that or not. Obviously it's nice to have like a level 64 alt, but if you're going to play on it, you'll actively get XP. So in my opinion, splitting the XP is kind of maybe a little bit better. That being said, so I want to talk about each class. Now, first things first, this is obviously an option between Sock Ranger, Witch, Awakening Woosa. The reason why I'm bringing this video up and why I'm kind of making this is because I'm torn myself. Now, I have Dracania. She has a lot of stuff. She has max weight and stuff. And there's not me bragging. This is just like, she's always going to be my secondary character. I see her more like an extension to Seraph, on your mains, you would usually have something like ghillie suits, etc, etc. Now, the funny thing is, I used to actually main witch a little bit ago, so I do have like inventory and stuff. Now, I'll get into some pros and cons for each class, or like just a little tidbit section on what I think. So on witch, on the first hand, right? Witch has a lot of these things. Just things that I like. She has, she already has underwear, for example, and so it was my ranger. No, Woosa doesn't, right? We'll get into Woosa last. And this is not an order of which class I prefer. I'm just gonna kind of break it down. So I'm gonna give you some pros and cons with each class. Then we're gonna discuss on like why and what and why, right? I actually got this Levidian because I thought it looked really good on her Awakening outfit back in the day, which used to be my pirate grinder, by the way. So anyways, so first things first with Witch, on every tier list, and Witch has been like this for a really long time. And keep in mind, like, I'm not telling new players or you guys to pick something because it's good on a tier list. This is just, we all have to factor these things in. This is like this is the reality, right? We're factoring these things in. It is part of a a hierarchy, I guess. Something has to be good. Something has to be the best. But notoriously, Witch has been really good. Just like Megu and I think Woosa have been really good in the last like 3-4 years, right? Is it 3 years? Is it 3 years they've been out? I don't know. I'm losing track. I'm getting old. Okay, shit is just hard to remember at this point. Now, first things first. I also have to remind you guys that I have my main hand on my main. So my actual like main gear is actually a little bit better when it comes to so my main hand and my off hand are basically octs, right? So I have to kind of consider that when coming to an awakening class. Now, luckily, I like Witch as a whole. Witch as a whole is pretty nice. I think Succession is a bit sweaty. If I have my staff here, you know, she really has, you know, she has the, you have to MMA all the time. And I wouldn't be getting into like classes if they should be, you know, if they should be considered because of how OP they are or whatever, you know, or the skill. I'm not really getting into like the skills and stuff too much, but she has a lot of APM, which is an APM heavy class if you play Succession, which I probably would be playing. But then there's also, you know, there is also the fact that Awakening is also pretty much the opposite. Awakening is a very chill grind. If you've seen any witches playing, they're very chill. And if you play any of these classes and you're looking at playing any of the others, or you're new and you already have a class, but maybe you're looking for a tag, this kind of video might be for you, because I'm going to go through my thought process, right? And the thing is, as well, and this is a pro for Witch. I'm going to mention this for the other classes as well. But this is going to be a pro for Witch, especially because Witch, as a whole, especially like Awakening and Succession, I don't know which one is actually better for Node War. I think Suck might be, but I think people play both. Please correct me on this, but for Node War, it's going to be really good. She's really good. She's really good of a class, to the point where, like, back in the day, this used to be meta. It was like meta to have a Witch and Wizard. It was like you needed to have PAs. I'm pretty sure it's still meta now, but it was like even meta, because you needed to have PA. Rolling PAs were super important. Let's engage. Depending on how many witches you had, like OG Siege and Node War, that was like the team with the most witches and wizards, literally the most PAs, right? The most protected areas would win, not Pearl Abysses. The most Pearl Abysses would win. Yeah, you know, so Witch, there's some pros and some cons there. You know, again, Awakening is a great grind. And another thing that's really important is I have a ghillie suit. I already have the ghillie, and sure, it doesn't matter too much with the underwear and the ghillie. These are like kind of side notes, but it's like another expense I don't have to think about. It's not something I'm gonna be like, oh man, freaking, you know, like sitting and thinking like I had to get. Like, I feel personally like I have to get a ghillie suit on my mains, you know. So my Seraph, I just got her ghillie suit, for example. I don't know why I'm still wearing it, but I have like frosh and some parts of the ghillie suit still. Looking frosh. I got a lot of outfits, and that's another thing. We're gonna talk about outfits and a little bit of customization going into Ranger here. So Suck Ranger, Ranger, because I'm not gonna lie, you probably recognize it as soon as I log into my Ranger, but she's just thick. She's just the class. I'll tell you a little backstory, right? So when I first played BDO back in 2015, this is before NNEU came out, by the way. I played her. I actually picked Kuno first. Like, my literal ever first class was Kuno, because I thought, wow, kunai, shuriken, you know, short sword. I like swords. Nothing else felt like clicked to me. Mewa was like second place. Mewa was the second place character, but yeah, holy shit, this should be the thumbnail, to be honest with you, in chat. Like, shit crazy. Shit is just, this should be illegal. Anyways, so yeah, so Ranger came in like after those classes. So I first made a Kuno, then I made, sorry, I got a little shocked there. I first made a Kuno, then I made a Mewa. Mewa was like, oh shit, she's like a swordsman. So Kuno I thought was like the swords character, because her, like, you know, but I realized like it's not really a dagger, it's more like a short sword. But she was like, oh, okay, so sword assassin, you know, but like look kind of katana. Then Mewa, then, you know, I played Mewa. I saw Musa as well. I was really like, ooh, Musa. But keep in mind, the Awakenings didn't exist back then. And then after that, this is in Korea, by the way, still. This is before EU and NA. And by the way, in EU and NA, we did not get Ranger or Mewa, and we knew we weren't getting them. Sorry, Mewa, not Ranger, we were getting Ranger. Ranger is like the base class. Ranger, but where is the base? And then everything else expands. Ranger. Then we got, oh, sorry. So we got like all the first 8. So it's like Ranger, Sork, Zerker, Tamer, Witch, Wizard, right? I think Witch and Wizard were like last to be created. I'm not sure. I've heard rumors on that. Correct me if I'm wrong here. But But with Ranger, she came in like after I made Mewa, because I was like, oh man, I've seen the trailer, I've seen like the Sork on the trailer and blah, 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 and we weren't really sure that we were getting EU and NA video. It was kind of like so I already had like a Korean ID and stuff, and you know, I hate to say this all the time, but I actually did illegally buy one. It was like a site my friend who was streaming, no, sorry, not my friend, but a streamer who I became friends with. And this is all when I was sitting in Brazil, internet cafe, back in 2015. It was like a wild time. I don't know. I was getting married that year as well. Anyways, so eventually I re-rolled I obviously re-rolled to NA and EU when that came out, and I had to choose a class. And the class I chose as my launch class, because I knew it was going to be a bit strong, was actually Ranger. Now this is before Succession existed, and I have the Shaddad armor here. I'm just gonna wear it for now. So I had this armor, right? And back in the day, by the way, this used to be like the rotation for Ranger. I don't know if anyone else did this, but this is what all we did. This is all we did as a Ranger. Like that was like the best damage. I don't know, it was like crazy, because this like those like arrows came out and it was just, you know, it was just too good. Like this volley of arrows. But yeah. And I thought it was really cool. I actually thought Ranger, like, I like that classes had more of like my ability is a green color X ability. So abilities like felt really unique. Like the paint on Tamer, sorry, and like the black death magic on Sork was like really cool. Like Tamer has like kind of like a painty looking aesthetic. But anyway, so Ranger's high up on this list. I personally think, like, opposed to like Witch. So Witch is like on the high end of the PvE tier list, usually probably the best. Ranger is kind of like on the low end. Now I could be wrong here. Maybe the Rangers they know what they're doing, obviously. But my perspective on it is that she's kind of ass, and this is also like I did something really funny the other day. My friend wanted to see me grind on DK, and I went to Dark Seekers. Nothing special. I went to Dark Seekers. So I went to Dark Seekers. I tagged. I did like a 15-minute, like, you know, hour, 15-minute grind there. On like I was like there for like an hour on Ranger or two, and then I went to my first 15 minutes, and I killed the first the packs in 15 minutes, like within the 15-minute time frame. I was just like checking it. DK did so much more damage. And I was just laughing my ass off the whole time, and I was like, dude, this class hits like a whale. Like, I don't even know how it's hitting so hard. And she's actually kind of fun to play. Like, DK is really up my alley. Now, you're wondering, like, why DK isn't here. We could get into it a little bit later, but DK was on the list of mains because as you can tell from my mains, my Seraph and for my Seraph, sorry, and my Dracania, I like the sword female classes, right? So DK, she was like the first one. She was like well, I guess Kuno and Valk were technically the first, right? But like, or Mewa, I guess, is really like a sword character. But yeah, anyways, so Ranger for me, I'm hoping that I can kind of like play her, maybe get more used to her, and I don't have the PvE feeling of her being not a strong class. You know, I hope she kind of gets improved by my own skill. Now, this could just be a skill issue thing. And maybe hopefully at some point I would like to be able to sit and just like, I could play like all my classes that I mained with my eyes closed, like Striker, like Awakening Striker specifically. I can even play Berserker like pretty much with my eyes closed. Like, I know the cooldowns off the top of my head. I know the order. You know, like Warrior, not so much. Ninja, probably a little bit as well. I can probably play with my eyes closed. Striker, Seraph, Dracania, I can definitely play. Like, Seraph and Dracania are like super easy in my hands. Super comfortable. And also, you have to remember that picking a class, there's like a comfort level. I have made a tier list in the past about this, where I'm making each like class, like a tier list based on my own preference and what I would main. Tamer was obviously the last class because, you know, fuck Tamer. Like, who the fuck wants to play that shit? I mean, yeah. Sorry, Tamer, please. I do respect your class, and actually your class has been like one of the most scariest classes to meet in 1v1 PvP for the longest time, and I think that still holds true to this day. Plus, not a lot of people played, except for the weirdos who were like ERP on it. That being said, Another thing, sorry, another class I can play is obviously Guardian is really chill. Nova, Suck Nova. I don't have it yet, like down to a T, but I can play it. Shy, I probably could play like without like, you know, because my Shy, I used to like grind Olans with her and stuff, so she's pretty like no brain. Woosa's another class I used to be able to play with one, but we'll get into Woosa really soon. That being said, for PvP, and also my tier list is kind of going to be based on a little bit of PvP as well. So, for example, for Ranger, like, she doesn't do everything Witch does. She doesn't have the PA or the heals. And that's another thing as well. I forgot to mention the heals on Witch is, like, insane. But, so, she doesn't have, you know, she doesn't have the sustain and stuff that Witch does. She's more of, like, an assassin, like a range assassin. She's trying to poke people out to kill them. Next targets, you know, and I kind of want to take her to Node War to kind of feed it myself. Like, I want to take all of them to Node War, but I know how Woosa is going to play since I've actually brought her to Node War already. Another con with Ranger is the fact that I hate her Awakening. I think her main hand, like you know, because my main hand is Oct. My Awakening is what is it, Pen? There's like another point here as well that I really need to emphasize. So my main hand is sorry, my Awakening is Pen, but something like a Suck. Like a succession class would a succession class is going to be a little bit more appealing than Awakening class, right? So for example, like, I don't know. Let's say I'm working on my gear upgrades. I currently need like a few more deck accessories. I don't really plan to like go and enhance my Awakening weapon anytime soon because of the AP ratio is like, it's good, it's still like needed. I'm not too sure. Maybe I need some gear advice on this. I'll gladly take some advice in the comment section. But I'm going for, like, you know, I got my whaling gloves like literally yesterday, and my feet literally literally 3 clicks before. So I got my feet on my gloves for my Dania set. Like, there's a little bit of a side tangent here, but like, I just got these yesterday, and then I got this on the second click, and this was like click 7 or something, which was a piece of shit. Now this is just base because I don't have any Dania stones on me. And then I have like a pen and another pen. My luck, I guess. This one has like 17 out of 22 agris. This is like crazy. It's like, dude, like, just go. But yeah, so so for me with Ranger, so talking about the Awakening weapon, and it's like a final side note, but Ranger just kind of feels like it would make a lot of sense because I like the succession. I also don't like the Awakening, which is, I would argue, is like a bad thing about a class. Like, if you don't like the Awakening, you know, if you just like one spec but not the other, I think a really good player would be able to play both. And I've seen Awakening Rangers play, and they're like crazy. I really appreciate how they're like, they stick with their class. They're still disgusting. But I really just wanted the Ranger aspect and the feeling, like the bow user aspect, you know. And I know you kind of get that with, like, you know, you have to swap between them. Maybe I'll have to learn it. Maybe if I had like an extra slot, I guess. And then we come to Woosa. Now, my Woosa is a very interesting class because she is very like, how to put it? She's a very like, I've been having her as a tag. So the main point with her is I've been having her as a tag for a really, really long time. She's one of those classes that I consider myself like a comfy grinder. She performs well. She does what I want. And I actually can play Pre-Awakening. I just don't have the rotation down. So we'll talk about the Pre-Awakening first. And this is like the kind of con. So the con, I guess, would be that she's an Awakening class. My weapon is not going to be as strong, so I'm going to feel a little bit of damage, you know, a little bit of damage resistance as well. Another thing about her that I find really, I wouldn't say annoying, but like, what's the word I'm looking for? Other people might not see her as good as I do. Now, Awakening Woosa, I watched J Koon's video, so shout out to J Koon. And all the people who I've looked at over the years, I mean, but like J Koon specifically for Woosa, just, you know, talking about this as a whole, right? I just put her here for now. Um, so Woosa Awakening has kind of been like the dream class for me. Like it's, I like the effects. I like the purple. I like the flowers even. I'm not a big fan of the flowers, but I think they're like a nice addition. They're not too much. They're not overbearing, but they're like subtle. I'm not a fan of like just green or clones coming out or dragons coming out. I'm more like, I'll take Awakening Warrior over like most classes in terms of effects, you know. And I love my effects. I love my big shiny flashy abilities. But yeah, the problem with her as well is she's not really thick. Like she kind of has the same body type as, now this is like a side little tinget, but she's not really thick. She's not really a class that I can say I like to customize. She's very like PA did this thing where like once like Nova or whoever came out, I think, what was it, Nova or Corsair? I think Nova was up before Corsair, right? No, I think Corsair came out before Nova, right? Am I crazy here? I don't remember. You have to check in the comment section. But whoever came out, they just stuck to this like same body plan. So like every female character after this is the same body plan. And I felt like maybe Woosa and Megu would have like a different body plan as well. But like Drak has the same body, Corsair, Nova, Seraph, they all have like body type 1, you know, like just like a pre-built body type, unlike Ranger, who can actually get malleable. Now this tier list would change differently if the body types were a bit different. I would just choose classes. I would just stick to Seraph, to be honest with you. Like Seraph, maybe Woosa if I can make Woosa thick, right? So another thing with Woosa is I don't like the pre-awakening that much. Okay, she's just, I've been able to do everything. I've been able to node warn her. She's been very comfortable. I've been catching people. I've been actually grinding as efficiently on her, like on Awakening Woosa, as I have on my Seraph. So if I'm like, I'm not sure what the spots, I actually might take Woosa as well to the spots. Just because she is like a range DPS, right? And she back attacks. So when I went to Orbita for the first time, I did go on my Seraph, but then I was like, maybe I'll try no Woosa. And Woosa is a class I've had just tagged constantly. She's just been a class that she's been very efficient. I would say if you haven't played Awakening Woosa, but you like Suck, at least you know you like Suck. But if you haven't tried any of them and you're looking, but you've had some negative feedback on Awakening Woosa, I would say go give it a try. Let your own hands dictate if you like the class or not. Don't let anyone else decide for you. Oh, you know, this class isn't for me, or this class is terrible, don't play it. Every class that you think is interesting, you should give it a try first. And you should give it a try by making it in, you can make like a trial character. If you press escape, and then you go into like the character select screen, and then you could actually make a trial character there. I would highly suggest this as a new player. And I'm probably going to stick to making like new player specific content. Like I'm gonna be having like 5 tips and tricks for, you know, like this kind of content, or 3 tips and tricks for new players. And if you like this kind of content as well, and if you're looking forward to that kind of content, and if you're new and you've been here for so long, please feel free to leave a like and a comment on this video. It really would help me out. I really appreciate it. Let's get back to the Woosa. So I would say another thing with Woosa that is like kind of weird for me is that I've been able to play her without inventory and weights, and the equilibrium scroll thing is like I want this character to have cool shit more than I actually want to play it, you know. So it's like if I ever were to pick it up, there would be no excuse for me to not play it. So I have a free horse flute, for example. I have a free outfit box, so I can't give my Woosa an outfit underwear an underwear box. I have any outfit I really want in a box that I can just give any of these classes. I think Ranger's Halloween cosplay, the one that she gets the Corsair outfit, looks super good. I think that's pretty peak. Let's see. Other things to add is So, for example, I can clear Bamboo Legion. I don't know if I've covered this already, but I can clear Bamboo Legion, I think, on Calamity, what is it? Calamity 10? And I'll show you actually. Is it 10? Yeah, I just skipped 9 on my Woosa, and I was doing 8, then I skipped 9, I went straight to 10. You know, so 380 AP, you know. And I don't know if this record is good, but I can do it in 8 minutes. I clear it. There's like a lot of running around and stuff. It's a piece of shit. And if I don't have my Woosa tagged, I'm stuck to killing like some Sangoons on my other character and Golden Pig, Apex, you know. But and Gumiho, I do Gumiho all the time. Gumiho for me is like the easiest. I just spend the most time, followed by probably Sangoon being the second easiest. But yeah, so that's like a small little tidbit on the side, I guess. Another Ranger con, I guess, if I can go back to Ranger a little bit. I do think Ranger is a bit squishy as well. Like of all the classes, this is something that, like, you know, and if I'm in a group grind spots, I feel like the other two classes like Woosa and Witch will also be a bit more efficient in terms of like being helpful. I do think people would like look at a Ranger and be like, oh, you know, suck Ranger, like who cares? Like I don't want that in my grind, you know. So there is that little bit of fear, I guess, as well. And yeah, I'm trying to think of if there's anything else. You know, we touched on Woosa's pre-awakening. It's not something, you know, but I think looking for a range PvP class is something that would be nice. I actually have Archer on my table as well. Archer is something I didn't main. I'm not going to talk too much about Archer, but this is something I used to actually main. Where is he? He's here. And I used to have Gilly, and I used to have all his outfits. I still have a horse flute on him. Oh, there's just a training flute. Never mind. I lied. But I did. Who is this? This is my Lan. We used to main Lan as well. Lan has been great. If you ever have any questions about any of these other classes, in the comment section. I've made a bunch of these classes. Mystic, I also have a little bit of experience on. Yeah, Mystic, Striker. I'm not really like a DK player. I think she's great, but I'm not really a DK player. She's been my fisher for the longest while. I just put all my life scaling gear on her because she just had everything pretty much. I would say I'm not able to talk too much on those Scholar, not really much at all. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I will stop yapping now and let you guys get back onto your day. I hope you guys have a wonderful time. Enjoy the grind, and stay tuned for more Black Desert content. Whilst I try to work my head around maybe making. I actually had a script for this one, but I like to go off script a little bit. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this kind of content. Stick around. If you have any feedback or anything, or if this might help new players, feel free to just give it to them. And I will be making a new player guide for Seraph. If I can get a few likes, I'm gonna say if this video reaches 100 likes, I will make an updated Seraph guide. And if this video hits 300 likes, I'll make an updated Dracania guide, because she's a bit hard. I'm going to be basing it off of my knowledge, and maybe I'm going to have some research done just to get you guys the best thing. But I'll make a simple combo guide, just definitely at the start, just to like get you guys going, because that one's pretty good. I think Drac is really a good class if you just know what you're doing, and apparently she's like S+ tier. So yeah, stick around for that, and thank you for your support. And also, you can catch me at www.twitch.tv/rare entry. You can go check me out there. I really appreciate just a follow, just drop in chat. That will help me a lot. I don't really care about your subs and stuff. I just an active stream is really what I would like. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.